And here we go. Okay, so just checking that stream works everywhere. It works on Twitch. Well, it should also work on YouTube. I don't see it though. YouTube.com. Okay, yeah, I'm live. Nice. The thumbnail is terrible though. It's okay. Now. Can I see it from studio? It's kind of weird. Anyway, so for today I'm gonna learn to draw. I'm going to learn to draw. From scratch. And I'll do using draw a box guide. Right? I guess a few months ago I started it, but then I quickly gave up. Lesson 1. Yeah, I became bored and decided to drop it. But today we are going back. Is it what I need? Okay, let's start reading. Getting equipped, lesson 1 is where the work begins. In this course, we start from the absolute basics of how to use your arm to make marks on page, as many of our students are complete beginners. Even if you're not, you shouldn't skip these basic principles, okay? After all, if you're comfortable with these concepts, getting through them in a good faith should be relatively painless. Remember, the main focus on the course, spatial reasoning, is something we tackle in earnest in lesson 3 to 7. What we are doing right now is ensuring that you're equipped with all the tools and understanding you will require in order to make use of constructional drawing exercises that specifically target your spatial reasoning skills. Okay. There is lesson 0, obviously. Okay, roadmap. What is Drawbox? What are fundamentals? I mean, I guess we can skip it, right? How's Drawbox 3? Remember it says at some point that it's better to use real paper and pencil, right? But I'll just skip it. I think I'll just... I'm fine, right? I accept the trade-offs. I'll not be able to do drawings on paper, or at least it's gonna be hard, right? But it's not a priority for me. If I'll need to, I guess I'll just learn the paper. Drawn from wrist and shoulder. Should we just watch the video and not seeing hear me reading? Because I'm not quite sure if that's... I feel like I'm overthinking. Okay, let's do it. Will it load? Huh? What's wrong? Okay. This is weird.
There are two major types of skills that are involved in drawing. Mechanical skills, the things you physically do with your body, and analytical skills, the concepts you understand in your head. Both are addressed throughout this course. We're going to get started by looking at the most important mechanical skill of all, how we use our arms to make marks. It sounds simple. After all, you've been using your arms to do all kinds of things throughout your whole lives. But while you're probably very familiar with the mechanics of writing, you are probably equally unaware of the other ways in which your arm can be moved and how this can impact the marks that you produce. Movement occurs from joints, like the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. And often different parts will move in concert, pivoting on multiple
I feel like I
joints at
already
once,
watched that.
without you having to think about it. If you reach out to grab a glass of water, for example, you're not thinking about every part that needs to move in order to reach your goal. You just do it. It's an instinct and it's in your muscle memory
Makes
to
sense.
handle your mark making. And you'll no longer have to think about how every single mark needs to go down and more about which marks you want to make. Your body will handle the rest. Depending on which pivot your arm is moving from, you can make marks that are tight and precise, like these lines from
With
the
the wrist.
but quite limited in terms of how far they can really go before you start wobbling too much. And marks that flow smoothly and fluidly and maintain a consistent trajectory, like these lines from the shoulder. They aren't entirely precise, and they don't make, super tight turns like these with like on the dime precision. But their ability to maintain a smooth, consistent trajectory over a long distance, and even shorter distances, is extremely valuable. Both ultimately have their purposes, but because you're used to writing and are likely already familiar with drawing from your wrist, and that's probably what you use for most of your marks, this course puts a lot of focus on drawing from your shoulder.
Okay.
So that by the time you're through, you'll be able to do so with
I need
the same
tutorial.
level of comfort and familiarity with which you
So yeah, I already went through it.
Same location,
That's why I need to move my shoulder.
It's great for the kind of precision that writing demands. And as you can see, you're able to make really fine, specific bends and twists, like writing your letters. It's all very precise. Then you've got the elbow. In your own drawings, that is, outside Drawbox, you're going to be using this one a lot. It'll be a little unfamiliar at first, but it's definitely easier to use than your shoulder, so people tend to gravitate towards it. So here, if I'm just holding my elbow in place, you can see that I can make...
Okay, so I should not drag my elbow on the table then, right? Fuck, I should levitate then.
Quite smooth, and
How
I
do I
guess
do that?
without too much wobbling or waviness.
It's not gonna be visible on cam, anyway.
That's what we're going to be using for most of our marks in this course, and definitely all of those throughout this entire lesson in particular.
No, I'm too low relatively to the
So
table.
I
I just
don't
can't.
need to hold it because that's pretty much the
put
only
it in
thing
the
I've got
air.
left. And it will actually work for smaller strokes too. So let's start out with looking at just the kind of marks that you can make. from
Yeah, so
the shoulder.
his
Very
elbow is
straight and smooth.
fully floating. It's like
And
levitating.
you can also maintain really nice flow for even those shorter marks. Although this is something students often struggle
I think
with.
it's a good middle
Because
ground.
Working in a small scale, you'll end up feeling more restricted and more limited because it will feel a little bit awkward to use your shoulder in that situation. But still, push yourself to use that shoulder even when the marks are tiny, and you'll find that your ability to make smooth flowing marks that are even that short will improve over time, and that will be a very useful tool. Now, of course, moving forward, you won't need, moving forward in your own drawings, that is, you won't necessarily need to use the shoulder every time, but it's important in this course, and you're never going to be using your elbow here, because the elbow is just a fairly easy alternative, and we want to make sure that you are well equipped with all your tools. So, drawing from your shoulder means primarily driving that motion from your shoulder joint. Your upper arm here will move noticeably, whereas when you draw from your elbow, the upper arm would remain static. Like if I'm holding this down and trying to pivot from it, this upper arm remains still. In the past, I've talked about locking your other joints and keeping them from moving, but I think that this phrasing tends to stress people out, and some people just get so obsessed with the idea of, oh, how do I know if I'm drawing from my shoulder and not my elbow? And it's not worth the trouble. People overthink it so much, and it just ends up being a waste of time. So instead,
Me?
let's talk about just how we're driving that
No
motion.
way.
So driving it from the shoulder, meaning that the whole arm is moving, and whether or not part of the arm is remaining frozen when it shouldn't.
Okay, I
A
need to
common
put
source of
it
trouble
a
for
bit
students is
more
when
right.
they anchor their elbows quite heavily onto the tabletop. And this limits us from pivoting from any of our
Yeah,
elbows
that's me.
or our wrist. The upper arm simply can't move because it's just pinned down. Don't worry though. For those of you who rest your hand gently on the page for added stability, it's still quite a light contact and isn't quite the kind of heavy anchor that your elbow gets. And so you can still do this as long as you're aware and keeping track of where you're drawing from. You may catch yourself slipping back to drawing from the wrist, but just correct yourself as you do that and always be, attentive to this sort of thing. All I want you to do whenever you make a mark is to think about how your arm is moving. Try to engage that whole arm from the shoulder. Focus on flow and fluidity over accuracy. Students tend to be focused too much on being very slow and steady to be,
my mind doesn't work when they
so they lose all this
have
fluidity and
tablet
flow to their
method
strokes,
anyway.
and that's something we're going to talk about in a later video. Just remember, we're focusing on the shoulder here because that is the part that people struggle with. Because it's difficult, because it's uncomfortable, we naturally gravitate away from using it, even when it's the best tool for the job.
Okay, makes sense. And here's basically everything he said, right? Can I scroll with my tablet, actually? Is it possible? Oh, don't do that, please. I think... Okay. So this is right mouse, right button. This is select, right? Anyway, let's just do it. Yeah, so that's basically what he's talking about. Right, so shoulder has bigger angles, that's why these lines are more straight. Let's keep it simple. For the sake of simplification, we can ignore the elbow and focus instead on the idea of either drawing only with your wrist, where your hand moves but the wrist remains pinned in place. This allows us to have very tight stiff control, and it's good for tight details and writing. Drawing with your whole arm. Okay. Okay. Do you mean I can't ever draw with my wrist or elbow? Okay. The path of least resistance. Okay. Hover hand. Resting some part of your arm on the page is pretty normal. Okay, so yeah, that's what he was talking about. Keeping elbow out of the table. Gently resting side of your hand or finger on the page as you draw is fine. Yep. How to hold your pen? Let's go. Something wrong with my internet.
Different tools are used with different grips. If you've had any prior training or perhaps watched some figure drawing videos on YouTube, you may have heard about a correct way to hold your pencil or your paintbrush. Sometimes though, students will pick up this piece of information and then become a little overzealous, applying it to everything. So let's quickly talk about why we hold certain tools in certain ways. So people talk about the correct way to hold a pencil, and quite literally they are just talking about a pencil. Often tools, like pencils, will have more of the lead exposed than you're used to. We'll do it using a knife, you know, but I mean, I'm not going to teach you that here. We don't use pencils in this course. But anyway, you can see how there's all these different surfaces exposed. The side, the tip, you know, you get these little angles here. And they can be used to provide all kinds of different marks on the page. Like, I haven't actually used this in a while, so it's not really sanded properly, but, you know, you get the idea. This grip, this overhand grip, allows us to use all these different sides really flexibly. And so it gives us a lot more control over this kind of tool. And you get a similar kind of deal with paintbrushes, charcoal, Conte, sorry. And, you know, so it's used a lot by a lot of different artists. But the thing that you need to remember is that the grip serves a purpose. Conversely, pens don't have all those different sides to them. They've got a tip. And that tip can make a heavier mark if you apply more pressure, and it can vary a little and get a little bit thinner. But, you know, it's one axis of, or one dimension of variability, I guess, is the tip and pressure. The grip that we use for writing, traditionally is called a tripod grip, although there's a few different variations of this. It's really good for controlling that pressure. Okay. And so this is still the grip that we use when drawing with pens. Okay. We don't try and use an overhand grip because in that context, we can barely even make marks because these pens tend to draw better, or their ink flows better, when you've got a higher angle. Some people will really push the idea of drawing with an upright angle of 90 degrees.
My case, right? Because I have a drawing tablet.
Maybe, I don't know, 60, 70 degree angle. It's still pretty high, but it's a bit more comfortable. Cheaper pens, though, will have poorer ink flow and will require a higher angle. So keep that in mind when buying your tools. So one thing to keep in mind is that the overhand grip is actually valuable for one other reason. And that is that it forces students to draw more from their shoulder, because you can't, with this kind of a grip, your wrist is kind of automatically locked. And when you're drawing with a tripod grip, you can use your wrist a lot more effectively, which is one of the reasons that we use it for writing. Also because the tools generally, lean into that. So when you're using the tripod grip, you need to be extra aware of which pivot you're using to make your marks. You always need to remind yourself to draw from your shoulder. So long story short, even though there are grips that are favorable with other tools, we are just going to focus on the grip that you use when writing, the tripod grip. Just make sure that you are engaging your shoulder to drive the drawing motion. And the tripod grip definitely makes it easier to slip back into drawing from your wrist.
Sounds good. Let's proceed. So that's it, right? Next. Mark making. Cheeky scratching, dotted lines, smooth, continuous, unbroken. Yep. The principles of mark making. When it comes to the marks you draw in this course, there are three overarching rules. Marks should be continuous and unbroken. Marks should flow smoothly. Marks must maintain a consistent trajectory. Let's look at each of these in more detail. Marks should be continuous and unbroken. This essentially means that every line we draw should consist of a single mark. Beginners, due to their heavier lines on drawing from their wrist, tend to make very short marks, right? Chicken scratching. When they want to achieve a long stroke, they'll draw a lot of overlapping marks, building that line up gradually in what is known as chicken scratching. Yep. In other case, students may find situations where they want to represent certain lines in dashed or dotted lines. Okay, but it's not the case for us, right? Yes, so the strategy should be employed during this course. Okay. Marks must flow smoothly. The act of drawing a line has two main challenges. We want to draw our line to be accurate. We want to draw our lines to be smooth. Actually, let me do some ambient. Yeah, beginners often prioritize accuracy first, thinking that it's more important that their lines reach their intended points. But this is incorrect. The most important thing you need to focus on first is keeping our marks smooth and consistent. Makes sense? The reason is simple: we can generally execute pretty smooth marks now by simply changing the way in which we approach the task. If we draw as confidently as we can without concern for where we want the line to fall, our marks will always come out smoothly, just not accurately. Okay. Smooth flow is something we achieve by approach we employ. Accuracy, on the other hand, is something that will improve with practice. Okay. Sounds reasonable. Nail down your confident stroke now from your shoulder, and as you practice it, your accuracy will catch up as well. If you do the opposite, oh fuck, my mouse is broken. Focusing on accuracy now, it will be vastly more difficult to make those marks smoothly with practice. It may work eventually, but I wouldn't want to wait around to find out. Okay. Marks must maintain a consistent trajectory. To pilot. Okay. There are a lot of situations where you want to capture something that has repeating pattern. When doing so, don't attempt to capture it all at once. Instead of zigzagging back and forth and repeating the same pattern, break it up into separate strokes, each one with a single purposeful trajectory. Okay. When dealing with a smooth wave, it's often better to start a smooth line and then build individual bumps onto it. We'll use this quite a bit in lesson 3, when we draw a wavy edge detail on leaves. When drawing something more jagged, like fur, it's important that you purposely design the tufts of fur, making a stroke to go up, a stroke to come back down again, another going up once more, and so on. This allows us to be intentional in how we make the marks. Okay, makes sense. Homework. Now let's draw. The homework assignment for this section is as follows: 2 filled pages of superimposed lines. Superimposed. Okay, so I need two pages of this. Makes sense. Good, so let's proceed. And to make it a bit fair, to simulate the real paper to some degree, I guess I'll not use undo command, undo hotkey. How do I remove the sidebar? Interesting. I don't know how to remove the sidebar. I think I'll just leave it as it is then. Okay, so we do 8 short lines. Okay, let's prepare. So let's do 2 dots. Is it the brush we need? Guess let's use pencil. Boom. Okay, I decided not to use undo. Wow, it's bad. I don't use arm. The lines are straight though, right? Okay, this one was horrible. Anyway, let's do another one. Okay, not bad, but this turn back is... I'm not sure if it is desired. It all goes down, I'm not sure why. It's because how I keep the arm? Okay. Yeah, it's really because of the arm. I just put it a bit closer and now the lines goes up. Okay, okay. Am I able to control it? I should be able to, right? Okay, it's a mess. Let's create a new one. A bit wavy, but okay, a bit better. Okay, I think I start to feel a little bit. There's another one. Why am I doing that? Wait. Do I need to do it faster? Okay. Okay. Also, the end is too long. It doesn't stop on a dot. What the fuck is this? It's so terrible. Okay, so this one seemed to be good. Let's create a new one. Too long, but good. Fuck it. Okay, it's better, right? Oh. Just the moment I said it's better. Fuck, it repeats itself. Wait, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Something's wrong. Not quite sure what. Okay, let's do one lines. Wow. 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 Okay, it gets closer. It gets closer though. Why is this so long? Okay, it's worse. It's really just like, it just depends on the way I put my shoulder, right? If I go deeper, then the lines go up. And if I sit regular, they go down. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, my mic is back. Like, this is horrible. This is like... Anyway, let's continue. Okay. Okay. I mean, lines are not bad. The precision is... Okay, this one was really good. Wow, this was also really good. Wait, it works. Okay, now let's repeat on a new section. I also feel like I'm way too, I don't know, invested. How do I say it? I like, I feel the pressure in my arm, right? I have to control every muscle. Is that how you do it? Okay, a little bit better, right? Okay, too slow. I just try to stop before I go too far. Hey, hello, Sakura. The man is back. Hello, hello. How are you doing, man? Honestly, I didn't expect you to see here. I'm trying to draw. As you can see, I'm still in the progress. Finally done with exams. Nice. And how it was? I mean, I don't know why I'm asking. I mean, it's kind of obvious how it was, right? How many exams you did perfectly? Like without a single mistake? All of them? Bad. Oh, seriously? Okay, now it's gonna be harsh. Were you playing Titanfall instead of studying your exams? Okay, I'm sorry. That maybe was too personal. I did 1-2 mostly. Oh, shut up. No, it was a friendly joke, you know. I didn't mean. Anyway, what do you 1-2 mostly? Is it like out of 5, right? Where holy shit, this line is so bad, and it's like where 1 is the worst, right? I know. Yes. Fuck. It sounds. But you're no. 1 is best. Oh. So why are you complaining? Why you say bad and then say like mostly 1 or 2s? Wait, I have to do the straight lines. I failed 1 exam. Okay, which one? Okay, I'm not concentrated. I have to concentrate. It's called Technique and Society? Tech and Society? Interesting, and what do you do on such exam? Tech and Society. Is it like sociology or something? Psychology? Fucking don't know why AI is sexist. No, I mean it's cool that you learn what AI is, right? Considering that AI appeared only a few years ago, and there are like a lot of concerns about AI, right? And about how it affects society. So I mean, honestly, the fact that university has it as a subject is, I guess, it's pretty cool. Wow, I'm nailing it. Do you see that? Oh fuck. No, it's fine. Okay, I'm getting better. Did you know that AI recognizes black-colored person faces worse than white ones? Worse, you mean like bad, right? Like not. You just wrote worse with SE, right? Yeah, I mean there are a lot of. It's just like the point is that AI is trained on human data, right? Yeah. And the problem is that people are biased, right? And that's why AI is biased. So. Like there's a lot of such tweaks about like nationalities and so on, and there was even a moment when Google tried to fix it. Oh, why did I delete it? Anyway, let's start from the beginning. When Google tried to fix it with Gemini, and Gemini started creating unrealistic historic people, I don't know, individuals, in like not their original race. It wasn't about AI. AI was one small point. Interesting. Okay, so what was the main point? Okay, I feel like I'm getting better, right? It's clearly better than the first one, right? You can't argue with that. I mean, the previous ones is okay. I can give you some questions from exam. Let me translate them. Okay, I'm curious. Do you think I'll be able to answer them? Okay, I need long lines, but I also need these arches. I need to do arches. Let's do arches. Do I do arches or do I do long lines? I guess long lines first. And then I'll delete everything and do arches. Let's start. Wow, it was good. Wait. Okay, this one is a bit wavy. Fuck. Okay, still. I'm taking full focus. What the fuck is that? It's the worst line I've ever done. Wow. No, is there really something about the position of my elbow, right? No, not the elbow. About the position of, how's this part called? Shoulder. The position of my shoulder, right? So like if I, as I told, I just have to find the right position, and then it goes right. No, there is something wrong. Why is it wavy? Okay, a bit better? No, not really. Let's create a new one. I just don't see what happens. Okay, so move the whole arm, right? Let's do hosting, right? It's called hosting. Or is it gonna be in the next? Anyway, I just remember that there is a technique. You need to trace the line first without drawing it, and then commit to drawing it. I can't trace it in a straight line. I just can't. Wait. Okay, let's start. Well, I can't do long lines. I wonder what I'm doing wrong. Okay, this one was not bad. Wait a minute. Yep. Okay, I see your exam question, Sakura. Give me a moment. Fuck. Wow, there's too many questions. Wait, I have to switch the tab. It just they don't fit on my screen. Complete the following sentence correctly. Okay, the correct is a good keyword. Previous approaches to neuro enhancement. Previous approaches to neuro enhancement. A. Do not provide consistent evidence for desired effects. B. Show only minor side effects. Oh, so it's like a historic question, right? C. Can easily be built yourself. D. Are useful aids in everyday, or is it not, study life? Previous approaches to what approaches? I don't get it. Is it a historic question? Remember the example of water consumption from practice theory. Okay, so I didn't have a practice theory. Based on the development of the shower, like studies on neuro enhancement. Okay. What is short? Okay. Okay, so I guess I have to answer them, right? I mean, just give it a try. Previous approaches to mirror enhancement do not provide consistent evidence for desired effects. Also, the question is what desired effects are. Show only minor side effects, can easily be built yourself, are useful aids in every study. Yeah. Are useful aids in everyday study life. I feel like I like so much context. I'm gonna just guess. Mirror enhancement. A. Do not provide consistent evidence. Is it? Anyway, remember the example of water consumption from practice theory based on the development of the shower. What the fuck? Which aspect was not? Do I like actually? Am I? Yeah. Which aspect was not used explains the increase in water consumption. The routines, society lack of attend environmental issue, changing the concept of body and self. Interesting, really interesting. Why does Judith Butler? Huh? Who's that? Oh. American feminist gender studies philosopher. Okay. Okay. Also considered biological sex to be an attribution, social construction. A. Because attribution prevents the formation of stereotypes. Because we have already agreed to perceive the world through binary lens. Because gender is too value laden. Because the gender discussion was not yet complex enough at that time. Interesting. Where according to Londa Schiebinger, are they all German? I mean, at least American historian. Never mind. Is it a German surname? Sakura, you have to know, right? It looks like it is. Historian. Anyway. Yep, nice. Does the interception of social order manifest in Linnaeus taxonomy? A. I feel so stupid. Anyway, in the prioritization of classes over orders without empirical justification, in the focus on sexual. It's just history, right? You just have to know it. It's I don't like such questions, right? You don't need like. I like questions, you know, when like you cannot. How do I say it? You don't need to prepare for them, right? I mean, if you want, you can, but you can just like think logically and answer. It's like these are like the best questions, right? And if you fail, well, you're dumb, right? It's just th is a name. In the name is silent, I think. Londa. There is no th. What do you mean, brother? Oh, Judy. Okay. Yeah. But not sure. Yeah. A lot of Americans are immigrants from Germany. I mean, makes sense. Yeah. And so you failed it, right? You failed this exam. I mean, failed. You got 2 and not 1, right? Oh, where is my pen? Is light enough? Yeah, there is enough light from my screen. First time, yeah. You got. Wait, I did one more time on Friday. How it was? You already got the results, right? Okay, let's do 2 dots. No, I don't have them. So what do you think? Wow, this is a good line. Is this a bit worse? Fuck. Oh, there is a bot. Have to ban him. I have to add blacklist, or how's it called? Horny byproduct. What a chat name. Okay, I feel like I'm getting somewhere, right? like, clearly something changes in the way I do lines. Let's do the new paper. Create. Oh, actually I could just delete the layer. Anyway. Let's... no. So, Sakura, did you... what do you think about... you ignored me. What do you think about the result of your second exam? By the way, I also have a question for you. Are you still into competitive games? Into the competitive gameplay? I think I pass. Nice. I told you 2 times already. What do you mean? No, I don't have them. I think I should pass. Oh. Let's ignore this one. But if you don't pass, it's not a threat, right? You still stay in university. Do you? Wow, it's so horrible. How am I doing that? Okay, this one is a bit better. It's still on. Oh, I have to figure it out. Yes, I can do it again later. It's concerning me that chat on stream is going from down to top. What are you talking about? Wait. It's going from top to down. Do you want the opposite direction? I mean, like... It goes from top to down. What are you talking about? The message go on top. Yep. Is it bad? It can be fixed, I'm just not sure what is more logical. It's kinda like notification tray, you know? They always appear on top. And in a regular chat it makes sense to appear on bottom because you have chat input on bottom. I guess. Anyway, yep, next line. So Sakura, you didn't answer my question about competitive games. Considering you played Titanfall? Fuck. Okay, I'm doing better. Yes, but when you write it, go into bottom. And you look at chat, and you look at chat at Twitch, it also pushes to bottom. Yeah, but because it's like you can write to this chat, right? Like on a Twitch chat, you have the input field in the bottom, and like it appears right on top of the input field. Makes sense. But like here, there is no input. It's just notification tray, right? It just... I don't know. I mean, I don't think there is like a correct solution to that. I'm not sure though. I've seen a lot of streamers using chat where messages appear at the top. I don't use my full arm. I do only elbow. Okay, it's better? Okay, anyway. I don't really like competitive games. Fuck. You just didn't try hard enough, bro. Just one more time, you will like it. Titanfall is the only one that is fun. You just didn't try hard enough, you know? You just need to try MOBA. MOBA is where peak competitive gameplay happens. What about Deadlock, Sakura? Probably not Deadlock, right? You don't even play yourself. Yeah, but because I don't have friends, right? I'm not like that crazy to play competitive games alone, right? It's I saw Deadlock. Yeah, but I mean, I was curious. I think it should be fine to play on stream with voice chat in English. Nice. We're gonna achieve top one European Union. Let's go. But I don't like waiting minutes to respawn. Don't die. I'm sorry, bro. Don't die. You know, I mean, in Titanfall, respawn is 5 seconds. We can play Titanfall. I don't have Titanfall though, but I can buy it. Isn't multiplayer dead in Titanfall? I hear that it's dead, right? It's mostly like single player. I like doing dub shit. It's normal, bro. Like, that's how learning works, right? You do dumb shit and then you learn. You can tell me some some funny jokes when you're dead, you know. And I'll read them out of 10. so you're not that bored. I mean, no, it's 1.5K usually online. Now might be 2K. Okay, not bad actually. Total. It's enough to find games. Oh no, sounds. I mean, it sounds like not that much, but not that either, right? I don't know, like, to be frank, I'm not sure if I want to play Deadlock myself, right? It might now sound weird. It's weird, like, I enjoy playing it, right? But I don't enjoy the aftermath, so, like, I see it there, and I just like, well, I just played the game, right? And that's kinda it. And perhaps I could use this time a bit more useful. But I feel like it might not actually be true. I also have like this, I don't know how to call it, mind shift with the AI stuff, right? I'm not sure how hard do you follow all the AI news, but AI is crazy good. Like it does so many freaking like really difficult tasks, really like problems that require such deep, hard, logical thinking on a multi-layer level, and it just nails it, right? And new models that are better, they like come after like each month. And so I just feel really, I'm not sure if I want to pursue software engineering career, you know? I'm not sure if it's even reasonable, right? Like, I like coding, but if I can earn money from that, is there a reason to go deeper? I'm not sure, right? It just doesn't make sense. What do you think about that? What would you do? Like, I don't plan to just go and drop it, but at the same time, I feel like I have to change priorities. Alright, that's what I'm doing right now. No, I mean, it's not like artists are gonna earn money, right? But I just had a long dream of learn to draw at least at a decent level, at some like, so I can draw pretty much any object to recognizable state, right? And that, I think it's just a cool skill to have. I like coding, but I also hate coding, so don't know really. But you know, it's like a balance. There is, fuck, how do I say it? You know, there is always piece of shit in each thing you do, right? There is always some, like, caveat some edge case which you don't like doing in any field. And then the question is whether all the positives overweight the negatives, right? And for me, coding felt like it, right? So like, often it's frustrating, but the fact that you can create anything is just so cool, right? So it's like digital infrastructure. You can like build anything if it can be digital, just which sounds like really good. But now, I mean, honestly, I'm going to work, right? I'm working, and I just like the way I work. It changed so much from like a year ago, because I don't remember. Like I almost don't write code manually, right? Only like small tweaks. I don't remember when there was last session when I was continuously writing code for at least 10 minutes, right? Which is a huge like data point, a huge information. These lines are so straight. Okay, I love it. You see the progress? Have you been thinking about your future job, Sakura? How long do you need to finish the university? Is it like 1 more year, 2 more years? It's probably 1 more, right? No, it's 2 more, right? You have 3 years or 4. I just like to ignore impending doom around and hope it resolves on itself. No, I mean, it's a strategy, right? Not the one I would approve. Like, you know, how do you call it in English? Is it Strauss, right? No, you know, how is it gonna be in English? It has to figure out, right? Okay, it's to S. Oh. Yeah, just like that. That's how I see people. Oh, it's AI generated. Anyway. This probably also. Fuck, like half of the images now in search, they're AI generated. It's crazy. Okay, interesting. Right, like it's a strategy. I'm not sure it's a good one. Yes, I need 1.5 years. Okay, 3 semesters, and I have my bachelor. Are you excited? Not to like be toxic. I'm just really curious. I just have so many thoughts. I'm really interested in what other people think, especially people like you. Right? Do you love your field in general? How similar it is to what you expected? Because I mean, I didn't enjoy my program, right? Although I love programming. And the program itself was not quite what programming is. I mean, real world programming. How would I better say? Corporate programming, I guess, is the best I can do it. Yeah, it's fun. But I can get fun out of most of things. Fair. Holy shit, what am I doing? Okay. Let's get back. Wow, it's so bad. Okay, I have to trace it. Have you been doing PCBs, Sakura? I had an idea for this little project. I'm not sure. Do you still read my journal? I've been writing about it. Okay, actually it's the third page, isn't it? I need to do 2 of them. Let's go back. There are different exercises. Ghosted lines. Oh, I know this one. This one is cool. Rotating the page. Another important part of the planning phase is rotating a page. You will find the execution marks in some directions are easier and other directions are more difficult. This is perfectly normal. No, for now and throughout this entire course, I want you to rotate the page to ensure that you always draw in the rotation that is more comfortable for you. Okay, makes sense. So the point is, I basically just do dots, right, and I connect them. Like that. But these lines are like so fucking straight, no way I'm gonna do it this way. But it looks so cool. Anyway, let's do it. But I'm not sure what to do after Baccalaureate. I can get Master on embedded systems, that would make me valuable on market. But the problem is I need to take English exam, and second problem I'm going... Is it a problem? Bro, come on, like, what do you mean? How is English exam a problem? Like, let's be honest. And second problem, I'm going to work closely with guys from informatics, and I don't like them. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that, but there are gonna be a lot of people you don't like in your life. No, okay, I'm not gonna behave like your mom or something. I can do micro electronics master. That is around actual circuits and potentially find a job in the field of making chips. You're gonna design next generation RISC-V CPUs? Like the physical architecture. Like the die. Well, I'm still doing the same exercise, what the fuck? Okay. I can't do this, I can't even trace a straight line. In Switzerland, Germany and Austria has a lot of companies and fabric making chips. Really? Which one? I mean, yeah. I mean, okay. Infineon, AT&S, Semiconductor and System Solutions, German high-tech company. Okay, but they don't... Do they manufacture them, or is it just design, right? They I mean... Like, it would make sense if they design the chips, and they ask TSMC to print them, right? That's like how it makes sense. Or do they print them at home, but they do it in like 200 nanometers? Or 500 nanometers. But there is like this cool chip. Oh, Milk Duo. S, not S. V. So this is really small Pika style board, right? It has SG2002 chip, which is RISC-V chip. It actually has 2 cores, one RISC-V and one ARM, but they are mutually exclusive, right? So there is a pin which you have to short, and if you short it, it boots the ARM core, and if you don't short it, it boots the RISC-V core, right? So you can run different operating systems on it, different architectures. And the point is, you actually can run real OSs like Linux on it. It has 256 megabyte of RAM, right? And it has this thing, I forget how it's called, for memory virtualization. So it's fully complete for running Linux, which is so cool in like such small package, right? They have factories. They make specialized security for cars, for example? Like PCBs, right? Or do you mean chips? I can do it this way. DAS manufactures chips. What the fuck? Oh, DAS, wait. Chips. What? How's it called? How's it called? Process node. What do they use? Do a deep research. Good. Let Clanker work. Yeah. They have factories that make, for cars, for example, board sensor chips. They have AI evaluation kits. AI evaluation? What? I took course at uni provided from them. They gave us boards and taught us how to make embedded AI models. Okay. Yeah, I see. I mean, like the AI models which run on 1 TOPS int 8 TOPS NPU, right? Oh, it's actually pretty cool. I've been thinking, actually you can use like 256 megabyte is enough to run really small model for indexing a lot of text, right? So you can install a huge library, surviving library. Have you read my journal, Sakura? I have to know because it's important. Do I need to explain everything from scratch? Let's rotate it actually. I can rotate it. No? I like it this way. Is this a bit better? I mean, there is a software that makes all the code. Yes. There is a software that makes all the code. You mean LLMs? I need everything, don't worry. I'm a creepy guy. You can count on me. Interesting. No, to be fair, if my friend had open journal, I would probably read it every day, right? I don't know. It just feels so good to just know things, you know. I guess you can relate, right? Anyway, yeah. So I've been writing about the portable handheld, right? Cyberdeck, which can be solar powered. And I wanted to make it on this ship. However, it's just so much work. I'm not sure if I want to do it. Like, I want to do it, but it's so much work. I'm not sure how. Like, I already understand it's like usually when you start things, they seem easier than they are, right? And now I already understand that it's gonna be like pretty damn hard, and I'm just afraid that it's gonna be much harder, and I'm not gonna finish it, right? And that's kind of not the thoughts I like. Also fried external flash on board that they gave me. how you did it. Also could work on project. It could work on project. Couldn't. Oh. No way Valorant is streaming? What do you mean? I mean like the official channel? Do you watch Valorant? You said you're not into competitive gaming. Very lying, Sakura? Okay, it's not horrible, right? It's pretty good. It's okay-ish, right? The precision is not there, the accuracy is not there, but it's not what matters. Like, it's about the flow, the commitment, the straight lines, and the accuracy will grow by itself. I don't watch it. It just suggested to me sometimes and open it every time. I'm too curious. It's called addiction, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's called addiction. I also like like I don't watch Twitch, I guess, for at least 4 months. I guess something like that. Yep. And today when I opened it, and like, oh, League of Legends. I'm curious. Guess what? Okay. No, honestly, I struggle with addiction so hard. Like, I can't just stop doom scrolling Reddit. I feel like I'm doing a bit better last days, but also I feel like I started to replace Reddit with Hacker News, which is arguably better, but it doesn't solve the problem itself, right? I still doom scroll. I don't watch Twitch. I only open stream to farm channel points. You know what that's called? That's called gambling addiction. How did you know that I stream? That's interesting. Also, what do you think? Like, there are two approaches I was thinking about in relation to streaming. I can just do whatever I like and stream in parallel, right? Like I'm doing right now. So I wanted to learn to draw and decided like, well, I'll stream and perhaps maybe some dedicated and invested person will come. Right? I didn't expect it to happen on the first stream though. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's scalable, right? There are, like, I've did some analysis and there are a lot of software engineering people who stream and they don't quite get the viewers. Like they stream for several years if you check Twitch tracker, and the viewers just don't grow, right? They grow until some point and then it looks like there is some ball, right? Which is field based, not because the person is not interested or something. And so I was curious, if I want to really pursue the streaming career, maybe I should just go full in and stream what's popular, aka gaming. Open YouTube and saw you stream. How the fuck? Oh, you subscribed me? Interesting. Interesting. Really interesting. Okay, so Sakura, we have to play Deadlock. It depends on what you want to do with the streaming. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have no... I don't know what I want to do with my life. What do you mean to do with streaming? Honestly, like, it's such a huge question. I have no idea. I'm thinking a lot about it and I have no idea. If you want to make money, you have to approach this business. I mean, I want money, right? Like, everyone wants financial independence, right? Financial freedom. But there's a question, and I don't fuck, how do I say it? Like, it's the same with programming, right? Like, doing hobby projects is pretty fun, 90% of the time. But the corporate work itself as software engineer, it's just absolutely not the same. Okay, absolutely is probably a bit too strong word. It's just not the same, right? And it's not as fun. And I have this suspicion that it happens to everything where capitalism takes apart, right? So, I don't know. At the same time, if you ask me, okay, you don't treat streaming as a business. You just do whatever you like, right? But you stream to yourself and your friend for several years. Do I like it? I don't know, right? Especially, like, also, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna come to every my stream, right? Because, like, obviously you have your life. So it's a question. Like, is it worth streaming if there is no one who watches the stream? Probably not, right? Doesn't make much sense. Okay, actually not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I kinda like it. And do what's best. Broski, you have work. You're better than most streamers already. Listen. Like, it's not quite how it works, right? Like, I understand what you're saying, right? I also was thinking about that. Like, a few weeks ago, I came home after work, and I had feeling like I don't want to do anything, right? I want to die. Like, okay, not... okay, now it sounds... not in real way, right? I just like morally die, like just like lay in a bed and you don't do nothing, you know. And it just felt so terrible. And at the same time, I got this idea that, you know, probably my life for like 80% of people, it's a dream life, right? I mean, it was a dream life of me like 3 or 4 years ago. Right? So like, I have this absolutely beautiful setup, right? Like, it's so good. I bought... Oh, I'm sorry. I bought a new laptop, which is decent. I have a second screen. I have a drawing tablet. I'm living in a really good apartment, right? I mean, it's expensive, right? But I can afford it. And so, I'm still not satisfied, right? And then I had this question, like, okay, I'm not satisfied. Do I want to be satisfied? And that's another question I have no idea, no answer for, right? Probably not. But then why am I complaining? It's just so difficult to exist, you know? I don't know. Okay. No, it's okay. Good line. You can try to make community in TikTok and YouTube and force them into watching the streams. So you have a small community to work with, but not pressure of trying to keep up the fame and growing bigger and bigger. Yes, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. The question is, another question. There are like too many obstacles for me. I don't know. I think like it's something wrong with me, right? Because instead of doing things, I just notice obstacles. Instead of doing things, I just notice why it's hard to do things. And the issue is that the things I notice, it's not like they are false, right? They are absolutely true, but it's also it's not like it matters. So like, I want to do like my first YouTube video, but the question is, what topic should I choose, right? What should I talk about on this video? I can't just do it abstract, right? I want it to be useful, actually useful. So the question is, what am I gonna talk about? And then I get this perfectionist problem, right? When I think, well, this topic is not good enough. This topic is not useful. This topic is too good for me. I'm not smart enough, right? And then I just see it and like do this really shitty procrastination and do no videos at all, you know? I think I'm gonna change it at some point, right? Hopefully sooner than later. Make Indian Windows tutorials? Indian Windows? What the fuck? What do you mean? Like, Microsoft Windows? Oh. Okay, I'm doing it with the elbow, not with my whole arm. Wow, that was good. Let's do it this way. If you want to fix something in Windows, you go to YouTube and find some legend from India that perfectly solves the problem. Brother, if you want to solve something in Windows, just don't use Windows, right? It's like the least possible amount of steps to solve if something doesn't work in Windows, right? There is no no guide which uses less steps. Like, especially with their recent updates, I don't know if you've watched news, but they release this update where Windows menu doesn't work. You just click the Windows button and it just, nothing happens. Which is such a bizarre bug to get into production, right? And so it's also in parallel with all this news from Microsoft that they use that 80% of their code is AI generated, right? And it's kind of fun. Who the fuck presses Windows button to open menu? Press the Win button. That's the point. It doesn't work, right? Like the menu is bugged. It's not the button. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but like it seems maybe I'm wrong. I felt like I was overconfident on this state, but like it's still crazy, right? Plus, with all the people that come into Linux, there are so many information, so many docs, so many tutorials. It's so easy to start using Linux in 2K26. Then I hope mobile Linux is gonna develop, right? So we got desktop Linux in 21st century. I want mobile Linux. Linux is badly supported by big corps. Fuck big corps. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, in what sense? Like AutoCAD, okay. Use FreeCAD. I use FreeCAD, and I regret a lot of things. Right? But I don't. I just accept it, right? I just accept it. There was this bug. It's so difficult to type with glove. Issues. Yeah, it's this one. It's so bizarre. Like, if you're interested, you will check. So basically, there is a bug. I have parametric module, right? I have 3 sizes of the keyboard, and I made it like previously in version 1. I have 3 different files for 3 enclosures, but it's dumb because like all these enclosures, they share 90% of design. It's just like you just add additional rows and columns. So I decided to do everything in one file and just make it parametric. So when you update this number, it automatically does all the recalculation. And it generates the updated enclosure of the correct size, right? However, there was a problem with the fillet. So when you apply fillet, fuck, it's better. It's easier to show you. It's also cool that I got no new laptop, and everything just works. I can stream, and it's not laggy, and it's not macOS. It just feels so good. Sakura, it just feels. I want. You know what I want? Okay, now it's gonna be. It's I guess Z13, right? I want this baby so much. It's like wow. It's a tablet, right? It's because I mean I'm using this custom keyboard. I don't need this fucking keyboard at all. It's 13 inches, so it's really compact, and it has Strix Halo, right? The one with the one that is in Framework Desktop. So it supports 128 gigabytes of RAM, and you can use this RAM as VRAM, right? So integrated GPU can use. Basically, you can imagine like it's a GPU with 128 gigabytes of RAM. You probably can't use all of the RAM, like 90 gigabytes of RAM, right? And it's just so crazy. You can run LLMs locally. I just really want to run LLMs locally. I don't want to use Wine to run them. Well, I mean, that's fair. I tried to install MATLAB for my laptop, and it had problems with some old C++ binaries that conflicted each other. Use NixOS, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It takes time. It's not easy, right? But it's solvable. So I didn't remember when last time I had binaries conflict in NixOS in packages, right? Like, it works flawlessly. I spent 4 hours with AI trying to fix them, And it's fucking Hydra that grows small library. That's yeah. I mean, don't use MATLAB. No, I mean, I'm just kidding. I understand that you have to use it, right? It's not. I mean, I just accepted that I can do some things on Linux, but all the things that I can, like, I can do everything on Linux, but like some things take extraordinary amount of effort, as probably is the case you describing, right? And I just decided, like, fuck these cases. I just not bothering with it. Like, AutoCAD doesn't work, I'm using FreeCAD, right? It sucks. So there is this corner. You see fillet here, right? And if you go to variable and you change keyboard size to 2, you can. No, like, you can do everything, right? It's all open source. You can do anything if you want. Like, you know, it's mathematically, it's like, you have an access, you can do anything. I mean, technically you can do anything with Windows too if you want to reverse engineer binaries. It still breaks? No fucking way! I thought I fixed it. Oh, it's probably the old version. It's the old version. Right, so that's what I was talking about. So there is this... how do you change the view? Draw style? I guess like that. So there is this fillet, right? And when we add additional row, somehow FreeCAD doesn't understand that this corner and this corner is like the same corner, right? Like, actually, if you check the fillet, it actually has the same name, right? So this corner, it jumps from here to here, and FreeCAD just doesn't understand it. But like, you see there's question mark, so it means FreeCAD can find this edge. But if I'll take and manually pick this edge, it's the same edge. You see that? It's 275. So it can understand it. So there is some bug, right? It's not a topology issue. And I figured out that definitely a bug and not a feature, because if I fix it by applying fillet right now, and then I'm gonna go to var and update the keyboard size to 1 and 2 several times, right? Go back and forth again. This bug is not gonna appear, right? It's fixed, basically. But when I save the file, close the app, then I reopen it, this bug just magically appears again, right? So there is some magic optimization happens during the file save, which breaks it. And it's frustrating. Like, there are a lot of such small things in FreeCAD. But you know what? It's free. And you don't have to pay the license, right? Like, Fusion 360, if I'm not mistaken, you can use it for free. But the point is, everything you create in Fusion 360 you don't own, right? So you can basically sell it, or like do some other legal things. Not legal, how do I say it? Related? I'm not sure. I also got new laptop. We got new laptop? What laptop? I have to check it. Windows feels bad. Just as bad as Linux. Listen, like, with all the respect, I understand that Linux feels bad, right? I mean, I had the same stage. You just have to go through it, right? In my experience, maybe that's how it works with Windows, but like, no matter how long you spend with Windows, it just never feels better, right? I have a friend of mine who basically writes network software, network tunneling, right? So, I mean, I'm not really deep in this stuff, but he writes a software which allows to bypass the blocks similar to like the ones that Russia or China does, right? On Windows. And there's like a lot of WinAPI interaction, a lot of kernel programming and so on. And I mean, so many times it was when I was just sitting in my room and he was coming to me and saying how terrible Windows API is, how he hates his life and how he doesn't want to do it, and how it gets only worse the deeper he goes, right? So I mean, it sounds reasonable. Try playing Battlefield 1 on Linux. The solution is not playing Battlefield 1, right? Or install dual boot. Like I have right now Windows on my machine. By the way, I was playing Deadlock on Linux, right? You just play normal games, not gambling addiction games. Okay, I mean, I was not playing Battlefield. I don't know if they have loot boxes, but they probably do, right? I mean, don't intend to sell it, so no problem for me. Okay. I mean, it still just feels bad that what if you want to, right? What if it will become popular, right? What if other people would want to sell it? Fuck, this one was not good. I didn't commit to it. I have a generic S brand laptop that just has so good components for its price that I had to buy it. Battlefield 1 has kernel level anti-cheat. Yeah, kernel level anti-cheat is no go for Linux, right? You can't do it. Okay, that's what you probably said, you can't, right? I mean, technically, if you really want, you can, but it's probably gonna be patched immediately, right? If you find a way. There's always a way. But the question is, do you really want to play Battlefield that much? You said you're not into competitive gaming, Sakura. Are you a liar? I don't like this line. Okay, but generally it's not as bad as I expected. It actually looks pretty fine. What do you think, Sakura? My friend plays it, and he wants to make a short film. Okay, that's a respectable reason, I would say. Wait, short film? Okay, well, now I realized. So you've been doing machinima? How was it called? About lines? I don't know how you struggle so much with drawing them. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? Have you tried? Okay, it's a bit skewed. That's right. Yes, in the background. Like with me? Seriously? So we are fully thinking, right? Fully syncing. How do I say it? Sync, right? Not like salt, but like synchronize. So it's thinking. Synchronizing is better, right? Synchronizing. So basically, like our neurons firing in the same way. Sakura, do you understand that? Yeah, exactly. How long have I been streaming, by the way? Oh, 167 drop frames. An hour and 30 minutes. I guess I'm gonna finish soon. Sakura, like if you don't want, well, nothing I can do about it. But if you have at least like, you know, some minor desire, we can go play Deadlock on stream. Perhaps even Titanfall. It should run on Linux, right? It's Source Engine. I mean, there is Apex, which is Source Engine, but it also has Easy Anti-Cheat, which doesn't run on Linux, as far as I know. Titanfall works. I played it before. Oh, it works? No, I mean, Titanfall always works. For some reason I thought about Apex Legends. No, Apex Legends doesn't, it should not work. I'm fine with Titanfall, but not Deadlock, right? It has short sessions and pretty dynamic. Exactly what ADHD brain needs. Right, Sakura? Tell me I'm wrong. Deadlock is too competitive. It depends on how you approach it, right? Just don't be so try hard, right? It's I'm gonna try hard, right? There is me in your team for that, and you can just chill, right? Like, I'm not gonna complain about it. You can go with KDA like 0-20-0, right? I don't fucking care. You know, we just will have fun. We're not gonna play ranked. Wow, this line is so sexy. Okay, not as sexy as I expected, but like still pretty good. I mean, the game's too long, and dying is not fun. Dying in Titanfall is fun. Yo, what the fuck? What's wrong? I said what I saw. Is there something wrong with it? I'm just saying the truth, you know? Sexy lines, yeah, exactly. Like, can I do curvy lines? Okay, it doesn't look sexy. Okay, a bit better. Okay, this one is. Let's do several dots here, 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 and here. Fuck! There are too many dots. I don't see them. Okay, it was terrible. Actually, like, it's novel, right? But it looks, it's not jagged, right? It's, fuck, how do I say it? The lines are smooth, right? Oh, this one is good. Yes, pervert. What? Why is it checked by mods? Love. What is wrong about pervert? Pervert? I mean, ask Twitch. What is wrong? And I guess that's it for today. I'll go update CI for my website and I'll go sleep. And I'll probably go check how much Titanfall costs. Right, what's the price for Titanfall? Sakura, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I probably need to do this one, right? Oh. Okay, so it's gonna be a recursive stream ending. It even